Hello, welcome to the Timmy Verne show with me, Timmy Verne, and Lord
I'm so
Stanmore,
depressed.
everyone's favourite chain smoker.
Oh, I wish I was dead.
There's been a new wave of nose clots among musicians recently, particularly with regard to the wind instruments. Developed a disease known as thrombosis. How do you account for this, Lord?
Well, who knows? I think it's not a joke. This is a sort of thing the government is committed to eradicating. It has rolled out extensive PCR testing for musicians. Unfortunately, PCR tests don't work in regards to this particular variant of
Yeah.
nositis, as I like to call it. It's just a case of we're going to have to play this by ear.
And so the government are really playing with musicians, aren't they?
I think that they're playing with us, we're playing with them. It's a game of two halves. Where we've sent them out of court, and in the end, we'd like to net a hat trick.
Right. Is that really the way they should be conducting themselves, though?
Well, latest research implies that, yes.
And what about the old research?
Well, we're following the data.
Is that not valid?
Well, it may have been valid when it was, research, but presently we're following the data.
But don't people like to go to retro research? It's like brings back like the olden days, and it's
Yes,
very
I mean, yeah.
nostalgic, you know.
Yes, I agree, yes.
So I mean, isn't that better research in a
It
way?
could be.
It could be. Don't you know, Lord?
My team of scientists have reliably informed me that the old research is, it was previous to the new research, and the new research is the latest research that we have. There is new research on the way. However, by the time that arrives, I'll be dead.
Well, could you not leave it to your descendants to read?
Yes, I could, I suppose. I don't have any descendants due to the fact my wife's dead.
All right, but she came from ape.
Well, we all came from apes, didn't we?
The government has released a new ranking system for malpractice in doctors' surgeries.
Yes. What
Now,
we call the Dr. Ross Charter.
that's right, yes. Now, the controversy lies in the sort of the top ranking, really, or we call it the Grand Field Marshal of Negligence.
Yes.
Do you think that's a suitable title? Isn't there not an argument that says it should be much shorter, though?
Yes, there is an argument for that.
And where's it gone, do you think, Lord?
That argument, last time I heard it, I think it was, was it Walthamstow?
It might have been Walthamstow, Lord, but who knows where it's gone? That's the problem. And so the documents have yet to be released, don't you think?
Well, we've released the documents. Unfortunately, they were lost in the post.
But were the documents withheld from anybody before, do you think?
They were withheld from a number of people. However, those people now have the documents. Unfortunately, those people got lost in the post.
And I heard a rumour, Lord, that the document was left on the photocopier. But do you think there's too many government quangos related to this? Right. So there's an argument for more government transparency, perhaps in the form of X-rays.
Yes.
And what do you think should be done about these X-rays?
Well, my particular portfolio, it's a Polly Pocket, so you can see straight through it. That's the sort of government transparency I'm looking for.
Was that shortly before your wife burnt to death?
Yes, it was shortly before then, which was a tragic incident. We were having a family barbecue, and I said, Dorothy, would you put on some burgers? And she said yes. And as she did so, those kind of Nerf type guns. Well, I had one, and the bullets were covered in paraffin, and I started shooting them at her, pretty much for fun. And lo and behold, she just went up faster than a French soldier's hands.
And she gave you a blank expression. So what do you make of this recent incident with the traffic warden who was just walking to work, and he was run over by an undertaker attempting a speedrun world record on his way to the cemetery? Now, do you think there's any justice in this?
Yes, I think there's justice in it. I think the traffic warden, I think he would have appreciated the efforts of the undertaker. And interestingly, there was a car in front before he got hit, and he didn't overtake him, he undertook him. So he really was a good undertaker. He got the record. The traffic warden is probably in traffic warden heaven, and he's probably giving the thumbs up as we speak.
So you're saying there's too much vaping involved?
Vaping and raping, I'd like to add.
Well, this is the age-old argument, isn't it, Lord, about
It's the age-old argument, yes.
introducing combat yoga for the under-18s. Well, it's an argument in two halves, really, I would say. Right. The budget airline, NastyJet, is starting a policy of post-destination, particularly with regard to its pre-destination testing. Do you think this makes sense?
If I could understand the question, I'd think it makes sense. It's a difficult question. It's the sort of question that I can't answer because I don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, it's obviously testing for the virus before they leave.
Yes.
Yeah, testing at their arrival before they actually depart. And what happens on the actual border? When a plane is actually flying over the borderline between two countries.
At those moments, we ask everyone to hold their breath.
Well, especially for old people, if they're using these people in the fossil fuels, and it's a misstep, surely. But dancing has been banned.
It has been banned, but still, people can still do it under certain conditions, and that is they are alone, they're in a bathroom, there's no music, and the lights out.
And they have to be 2 meters away from themselves?
From themselves, yes.
Yes.
Which could cause some confusion. However, we have been able to overcome this with the government traffic light system.
After 10 o'clock?
But before 10:02.
Moving on to the dentists. A campaign to replace mercury fillings with the ingredients of Mars bars. Now, is this an exaggerated response?
This may be a step too far, but a step in the right direction.
But if you can get hold of one of those passports, then you're all made, aren't you?
Look.
It's part of my new book. I'm referring to, of course, the recent report into the under-25s in the Welsh community, the huge increase in obesity among the anorexic community. Now, do you think this is unexpected? So it came as a shock, really.
Something of a shock, yes. Yeah. I mean, the question was a shock.
Yeah, but I think, Lord, you had some struggles in the past with this, didn't you?
I had struggles in many things.
Yes.
My sanity, my sexuality, my in-laws, the ones who died, unfortunately were murdered. We still haven't found the culprits. I was the lead suspect for a long time. But luckily I've been able to shift that charge.
Yeah, but
and the wife's dead as well.
Oh, your wife is dead. Yeah. She had the eating disorder, didn't she, Lord?
Yeah, she starved to death.
Right. And, but...
she somehow locked herself in the mansion basement and somehow managed to lock herself from the outside of the door. I mean...
I don't think that Paul Daniels could be entirely to blame for that incident.
I think entirely to blame. I think, in a divorce, you go half and half. Darren Riggy went half and half when he saw it in half. Yes, I mean, I love that film.
What film, Lord? I'm not
The Commitments. I wrote a technical letter regarding the COVID rollout. Unfortunately, ended up on the seashore at Western-super-Mare. Didn't quite get there, but...
I mean, my machine's going to be turned off shortly, so...
Well, as long as you can just let me know beforehand, I'd love to be there when that happens.
The government is trying to clamp down on the vaccine theft.
Yes.
As you know.
Yes.
People are going up with syringes to people's arms and extracting vaccines. And they're obviously trying to get their second dose before their first dose. Do you think it's a bit a bit much, a bit rich of them to be jumping the queue like this.
Well, I don't think it's the rich. I think it's the poor that's doing this.
As you know, that jurors, law graduates are being replaced by concrete blocks. Do you respect this decision? Yes. I do run several interdependent magazines.
Interdependent.
But during your introduction to your book, Scraping the Bottom of the Barrel, you present a different case. I'm trying to sell a book, Lord. Do you have any advice for me?
Yes, kill yourself.
Well, no, that's the title of the book.
Yes, I was saying, Kill Yourself is a great book.
She threw herself off Lord Beachy Head, actually.
I thought that's what the doctor said she had. When she hit the ground, a beachy head.
She preferred.
No, did you call it a bitchy head? Wasn't that one of the reasons she jumped up?
Well, she wanted to use the needles, but it wasn't available at the time.
Well, some people just get the needle so easily.
She couldn't get the slot book.
You know what the vaccine is? Massive placebo. However, please do take the vaccine to protect the NHS and stay at home. We have had problems with people booking slots. Unfortunately, we have found out recently that the placebo is a super spreader. Need I say more?
Watch out for Barrymore.
Let's just say it. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. You can't learn to swim without diving in.
Yes, but he was recently spotted in soldier fatigues. What do you think that was?
Well, he was a soldier and you're just tired of it.
So, there's a case of this man with a nasty vaccine side effect. He suffered an extra leg growing out of his neck. Oh, what is that, Lord, at the window?
It's the ghost of Michael Barrymore. He's trying to push us in the pool. Ah! Splash.